Number 6, Marvin Mims. Coach Steve has him 10th. John has him 4th. Dan has him 6th. 3 seasons, 123 receptions, about 2,400 receiving yards, 20 touchdowns. 2022, 54 receptions, 1,083 yards, 6 touchdowns. And, oh, yo, fast guy, 4.38, so he's under 4.4. Coach Steve, I'm actually going to let you start us off since you're so, I wouldn't say down, but you got him significantly lower than the rest of the guys.
Yeah, no, and I don't hate Mims at all. I really like Mims and where I probably could get him in drafts, to be honest, depending on where he goes to. There was just a few things that kind of really just, for me, having him to be an elite receiver in this class is just that his kind of role at the next level here. I mean, he has that, big playability and obviously things like that, but I'd like to see a more expanded route tree. From what I watched on film, there was a lot of like nines and whatnot and hooks, but nothing really else out there that really like said, oh, okay, like I know that he can do this at the next level. To be someone who has a full route tree under his arsenal a little bit there. And it's things like that kind of have me a little bit low on him, but I do really like them a lot there. I'm really hoping that he does land in the right situation, but I just like a lot of the other guys more than Mims overall. But I get why you guys have him that high. Just that there's just a few things that kind of turned me off on him a little bit.
I'll be honest. I thought I was high on Mims, but then Coach John said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. So I'll be honest. This one was, to me, again, I'm looking at like, once you get outside the top 3, then you get into this kind of nebulous of like 5'9", 5'10", fast, decent. And to me, Marvin Mims in that group of people, the Zay Flowers, the Josh Downs, like all these people, like he just on film looked the best. He was a gamer. Like, and that's just to me like important, where you're like, all right, this guy's always in the right place, always seems to be where he needs to be. Like his yards after the catch was great. He's physical with the ball in his hands. He's got some of the best yards per reception in this draft class. Like these are things that I think equate to just a talented wide receiver. And like, yes, it's not the most nuanced route running in short space, but Tyler Lockett wasn't that way early on either, and he turned out just fine. And if you could have rookie year Tyler Lockett, you'd be like, yeah, all right, it's fine. I'll work with this. So I think Marvin Mims could easily develop into that role with the chance that there might be a little bit more, where he does get a little bit more polished in the short area route running and becomes sort of a red zone threat as well as a deep zone threat, because he's a separator. He can get space. He's always seems to have a step on the defender. Like, to me, that's important. And at the next level, 4.38, his game speed is off the charts. People couldn't catch him. So, that's the type of stuff that I look for in a wide receiver when I go, if he was 6 feet, I'd be like, he could easily be in this top conversation. So in my opinion,
I like that comparison.
Yeah, because this receiver class we've been saying is on the smaller side, and I hate to say it, but 5'11", 177 is kind of one of the bigger dudes in this
class. Yeah, it's solid in this class.
I like that he produced with 3 different quarterbacks at Oklahoma. He had Spencer Rattler for his first year, second year split between Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams, and then Dylan Gabriel this past year. The other thing I love is his biggest year of production was this past year on what was a terrible Oklahoma team, because Lincoln Riley left in the middle of the night last offseason. It just took Caleb Williams and a bunch of other signees with him. And Marvin Mims was still able to have a 1,000+ yard season. So we've seen him do it with a number of quarterbacks throwing to him in a number of in 2 separate offenses. And like, this is the first guy that really combines the size with the speed, which is something that is almost like a baseline for a ceiling type of wide receiver 1 fantasy football wide receiver. And yeah, I'm on the same page as Coach John. He's easily in like a tier. I still haven't settled on my tiers yet, but he's either like tier 2 or tier 3 for me. There's you got your big 3, but then after that, there's any number of 5 guys can make their case for being in the top 5 based on draft capital alone, which we'll find out in 3 short weeks here.
Crazy.